Hello, this is Mrs. Smith, and we are going to go over your Grade 5, Chapter 6, Check My Progress Study Guide for Lessons 1 through 5. Okay, so our first question is $4.43 times 5. Okay, let me get rid of our buttons down here to give us more space. Now, you could write the number with more digits on the top or the bottom. I like to write the number with more digits on the top, because if you write it on the bottom, that's just going to give you more lines down here to add. So we usually write the number again with the least number of digits on the bottom. Okay, let's begin. 5 times 3 equals 15, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21, carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. We count the number of decimal places in our problem. I have 2 in my top number and none in my bottom number. So I have 2 in my answer. So my answer is 22 and 15/100ths. Question number 2. $16.50 times 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. There are 2 decimals in my top number, no decimals in my bottom number, for a total of 2 in my answer. So my answer is $33. Now that I'm looking, I should have actually written a dollar sign here for $22.15. All right, question number 3. 3 3/10 times 6. 6 times 3 is 18, carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. There's 1 decimal in my top number, no decimals in my bottom number, for a total of 1 decimal in my answer. So my answer is 19 and 8/10. Question number 4. 24 and 9/10 times 10. 0 times 24.9 is 0. I cross off the 0, and now I'm going to multiply by 1. 1 is actually in the tens place, so it's a 10. So I have to do something with this placeholder of 0. I'm going to use it as a placeholder. Now I can multiply by 1. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. I add my number together, and I get 0, 9, 4, 2. There's 1 decimal place in my top number, no decimal places in my bottom number, for a total of 1 in my answer. My answer is 249. Now, we know a trick when we multiply by powers of 10. So if I had 24.9 times 10, 10 has 1 0, so we can just simply move this decimal point over 1 time, and that would equal 249. So I did not actually have to do all of this work above. Question number 5. 7 times 0.06. Now again, I could have written it this way as well. It's whatever you're comfortable with. And now that I did write it this way, this might actually be a little easier. 7 times 6 is 42. There's 1 decimal in my top number, none in my bottom number, so there's 1 in my answer, and my answer is 4 and 2/10. Question number 6. 53 times 1 and 9/10. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 5 is 45, 46, 47. I'm done multiplying by the 9, so I cross it off. Now I'm going to multiply by 1. The 1, well, we're going to ignore this decimal for a second. The 1 would be in the tens place if we're ignoring the decimal point. So I'm going to use this 0 as a placeholder. And 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 5 is 5. I add 7 plus 0 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10, carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. I do not have any decimals in my top number. I have 1 in my bottom number, and I have 1 in my answer. So my answer is 107/10. Question number 7. 3 7/10 times 4. 4 times 7 is 28, carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. I have 1 decimal in my top number, no decimals in my bottom number, for 1 in my answer. So my answer for question number 7 is 14 8/10. Question number 8, again, you can write it differently if you so choose. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Now, I see a lot of people do 5 times 0 is 5, plus 1 is 6. That's a common error. We make human errors like that a lot when we're going too fast. So just make sure when you are multiplying by 0 that you get to 0. So 5 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. There are 2 decimals in my top number. There are no decimals in my bottom number for a total of 2 in my answer. Now, when we have a leading decimal point, we always want to add a 0 here. The reason why is because that highlights that that decimal point exists, and we don't want to forget it. So we have 0.10, or you can actually just write 0.1. Okay, this is 10 hundredths or 1/10. They're equal in value. Question number 9. Four 32 hundredths times 5 6/10. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19, carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. I'm going to cross these out. I'm done multiplying by the 6, so I'm going to cross that out. I have a 5 here. Now we're going to pretend that this decimal doesn't exist right now, so the number would be 56. So the 5 would have a 0 after it. This 0 is going to be a placeholder, and now we can just multiply by 5. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Now we add our sums together, our add-ins together. 2 plus 0 is 2, 9 plus 0 is 9, 5 plus 6 is 11, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4, and 2 plus nothing is 2. Okay. And then we have 2 decimals in our top number, 1 decimal in our bottom number, for 3 decimals in our answer. So we have 24 192 thousandths. Question number 10. 12 hundredths times 83 hundredths. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm done multiplying by the 3, so I cross it off. The 8, again, we're going to pretend this doesn't exist, would be 8, 0. And we need to use this as a placeholder. And now we can just multiply by 8. 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Okay, we add those together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus nothing is 9. There's 2 decimals in my top number, 2 in my bottom number, for a total of 4 in my answer. So count this, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so with this empty space here, I need a placeholder, which is a 0, and I'm also going to put a leading 0 here. So we have 0.0996. This is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. So 10 thousandths, okay? So 996 10 thousandths. All right, question number 11, okay? All right, so 0 times 213 is 0. Now this would be 0, 0, okay, because there's 2 zeros. So here, for this number here, this is actually 1 with 2 zeros after it, okay? So that means we have to have 2 zeros. Then 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, okay? We add that together and we get 0, 0, 3, 1, 2. Let me clear the buttons down here. Sorry about that. All right, and we have 2 decimals in our top number, none in our bottom number, for 2 in our answer. So our answer is 213. Now, like we had in our other problem above when we multiplied by 10, this is a power of 10 problem. So really, because we're multiplying by 100, which has 2 zeros, we could just go to the right with a decimal point twice, 1, 2, to the right. So our answer would be 213, instead of doing all that arithmetic. So for question number 11, you should have 213. All right, and we're doing great here. Last problem, number 12, okay? 15 and 6/10 times 100. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1. There's 1 decimal in my top number, 2 in my bottom number, for a total of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I can add a 0. So I have 0 and 156 thousandths. Okay. And that is that. All right, so I wish you good luck on your Check My Progress quiz, and have a great day.